think I'll start from the beginning. I will start of the whole journey. It was late 90s, maybe 98, 99. I was working in Pune for the TA group, Group. By the time I had some about 10-15 years experience in exposure to TQM, and at TA also we did a lot of things on TPM, a lot of Japanese initiatives. So in a way I was wedded to TPM. I was working in Pune. And parallelly I was also a strong advocate of academic industry or industry institute interaction, developing that better, and thereby the industry also gets benefited and also the institute. And that was the time again IIT Bombay, they started a Department of Management. And incidentally I am also an alumni of IIT Bombay. So putting all this together, I thought I should visit IIT Bombay and spread TPM through the institute, and they do a lot of work which will benefit us also. So with a lot of hope, and I knew some people in IIT Bombay also. I went to the Department of Management in IIT Bombay, met the head and some senior people. We had about 1.5 hours chat on TQM, Japanese initiatives, what we have done at TA earlier, etc. After listening to all that, there was a senior faculty also there. They said, no, Mr. Rao, all sounds very fine, we understand. But the fad of the day, especially in that part of the country, the western part of the country is more towards Six Sigma and Malcolm Baldrige Award, etc. So I don't think we are able to generate much of interest in TQM, at least in this part of the country. We discussed for some more time. At the end of the day, the message was clear that TQM or the Japanese initiative is not a great thing in that part of the western part of the country at least. So I came back a very disappointed man. I thought I'd do something. And normally industry people are very busy, they don't go to the institute. Here I was going there and trying to do something, but it didn't work out. So this was almost 14-15 years back. From then till now, if I see the interest in TQM, the way TQM, people have become aware of the benefits, implementation, etc., I think there's a big change. And instantly in another 1 week, the same Bombay, a famous quality institute, has called me for almost a 2 hours lecture on my DGP journey. So I thought the big change and a very welcome change towards the Japanese initiatives. And I'm a die-hard fan of Japanese. Okay, Japanese have their pros and cons, but there are a lot of learnings. So on that note, I thought I'll talk about my journey, how it has been, how it has helped me. I think if I had to say one very important part of TQM, there are a lot of facets of that which I will be covering, but one important part which I felt, which appealed to me and which I thought is very important in the industry is the people-centric initiative. It's a cultural change practically, and I think that is the need of the hour, that has been the need of the hour, and that's what attracted me to TQM in a big way. And both personally and professionally it has helped me a lot in understanding, getting into depth, solving issues at different levels. So that is to start with. The three important facets which I felt of TQM which helps any organization is of course the customer focus, which is talk of any Japanese, I think the first thing that comes to mind is the customer focus, something unbelievable. And second is the total employee involvement, and third is the continuous improvement. And customer focus also, I think the way we look at customer and the way they look at customer, since I interact with Japanese, we have a Japanese collaborator, I've been going to Japan very often. I visited Honda, Toyota, Nissan, the Japanese parent company with my collaborator. The way they treat customer, the seriousness they give towards customer and us, even today, there's a big difference. Of course, in India in general, I think customer focus is a big shift from earlier times. We do to a large extent believe today customer is the king, but I think even today they are way, way ahead of it. When they go to a customer, the kind of preparation they do for whatever subject, and the seriousness with which they listen to them, write down each and everything that they say, come back, work on it, give them feedback in time, and reasonable amount of openness. I think that has gone a long way for Japanese to build their strengths in various facets of manufacturing, etc., including quality. Continuous improvement, of course, is in their blood, and continuous improvement at two levels again, incremental and breakthrough, and they do very silently. If you see Honda, Nissan, etc., they don't talk in a big way of innovation, etc., like it is done in the West, but they have done wonders. So continuous improvement is almost a daily kind of activity. It is not a separate activity from the normal. Like what Kaizen we have done today is a normal question they ask each other. I think that is one important thing I found. The Kaizen culture per se is a very important part of TK. And the third facet, of course, is the TA, which is the foundation, total employee involvement. And in our country, I think that becomes a very important part. Even in Rane, when we started in 2000, before that some other management systems were tried. It gave benefits in bits and pieces. One of the important things that was missing is the total employment. And I think TQM has helped a lot in getting people together, understanding and taking the whole initiative forward. Now, at a practical level, how this has happened it addresses both the macro and the micro issues. At a macro level, on the strategy formation, right from vision formulation, we take 3 years, 5 years, whatever, converting into a strategy to a proper strategy framework. And importantly, how it is deployed down to the supervisor level, I think the policy deployment as it is called in TQM. That helps a lot in aligning the entire company towards a particular goal. Because almost every company have goals, have a 3-year plan, etc. So what is different in TQM, I found, is this strategy and the policy deployment and cash balling in fixing up the targets, etc. This helps in really company-wide alignment to the goals that are decided. Again, the goals are decided at a much bigger group. It is not only the president, marketing, finance get together, but the managers are also involved in the goal setting process, etc. And the deployment at every level ensures that it goes down to the bottommost level in terms of action plan. That is at a slightly macro level. And when it comes to micro level, I think the biggest strength is the daily work management. Right from cell leader or module leader or supervisor, shift supervisor, whatever you call, his roles, responsibilities, how will ensure the responsibility is done through managing funds, what are the metrics, what is the review mechanism, I think is very clearly defined. And what is the cross-functional support is required so that there are no silos, again very clearly defined. And the next important part is the PDCA that is done on a daily, weekly, fortnightly basis. While again most of the companies do have some KRAs, targets, etc. But this PDCA which ensures recurrence prevention, that is the basic philosophy there. That is not only immediately correct the problem, but you go into the root cause by various tools and ensure that the problem doesn't recur. I think the recurrence prevention in the PDCA becomes a very important part. And even in our company, of course, we have come a long way, we have a long way to go, but it's a big learning, the root cause countermeasure formation. And coming to TEA, I think this has been the biggest trend according to me in Rane, especially I've seen. I joined this company in 2001, and 2001 to 2014, if I see today, is a big change. And in terms of course, the 5S, etc., but in terms of employee involvement itself, the QCC, the suggestion scheme, the way people by and large are wedded to this and contribute to this has helped us in a great way in this TQM journey. Of course, the basic requirement for this to happen is the top management involvement. And in Rane Group, we have formed what is called a TQM Apex Council, where chairman, all CEOs of all companies, we are part of the Apex Council. And every month religiously without fail, we audit one plant in any part of the country. We have about 24 plants. So every month one plant is audited, and normally we don't miss this audit. So it's taken very seriously. The chairman and all the CEOs, we make sure one day in a month we spend on TQ, which I don't think any other group in India I know of at least does this. So that is the kind of top and without that, of course, nothing else works. But with this top management involvement, and when everybody sees that we are walking the talk kind of thing, I find even at the operator level, our Chennai plant is almost 5 decades old. Even here, the number of sessions that come, the number of QCCs that people work, some of them even don't know how to write, some of them don't know how to read, but still they participate. So it has been a tremendous journey. Not that it's still an unfinished task, but we are coming a long way. All this have helped us really in this Deming and Deming Grand Prize journey. And in the Deming Grand Prize journey, there have been again some very big learnings for me personally. September 2013 was the examination, and of course it's a continuous journey. But for the examination, obviously we will do a lot of things. We are working for 1.5 years. The year 13-14 has been a particularly bad year in terms of market. The market was down. So we had a lot of challenges on top line, bottom line. So we had to focus a lot on costs, etc. In addition to that, attrition was in general high. So there were a lot of people coming from non-TQM company to our company. With all these things, getting into Deming Grand Prize was a huge challenge. So at one point of time, senior management team, when we discussed, we felt will we be able to win this award kind of thing. But then the general consensus was we are almost there, so a little more effort will go. There was general feeling that there's a lot of work. So again, we walked the talk kind of thing. We told it's a pride of the company, pride of the group, pride of the country kind of thing, this kind of award. And for this kind of award, the entire group came together. Because as I said, we were under so much pressure, the entire system. Like our parent Rane Madras helped in marketing, Rane Engine was helped in something else. The entire group came together. And without our knowledge, when I look back now, with all these initiatives, the Deming Grand Prize winning, though it's a milestone for sure, but Deming Grand Prize winning at some point of time became from a company goal to a self goal. I didn't realize till after we won the award and I was interacting with the people. And that is the strength of TQM, I felt. So when I was talking later, people said, no sir, well, audit was going on in Trichy plant. Chennai plant, as I said, is about 5 decades old. The union leaders and some of the operators went to a nearby temple, which is supposed to be a very powerful temple, and did a prayer that we should win this award. And almost everybody said in their family, their wives, etc., did some prayers and all that, including my own family, that we should win this award. So it percolated to that level. Even the families got very excited with the whole thing. So that's the strength of TQM, the TA, how things can get together. This is about the journey and things like that. Now, where it helped RBL over these 10 years is, one is we could sustain the domestic market leadership position. We have been market leaders, but in spite of increasing competition, lot of imports coming in. I think our proactive market initiatives we took through TQM in case of proactive marketing, etc. That's another important learning we had. While customer focus, we say we meet customer, but I think TQM per se talks of capturing the latent needs of the customer. It is not enough if you just talk to the customer what he wants you give, but when you go there to meet a customer proactively, try to get his latent needs and then work for that and go back so that customer delight can happen. Those things have helped us in retaining domestic market portion. And second important part is on technology leadership. I think our R&D is one of the best in friction material industry in India. TQM has gone a long way in helping this. We had some formulation, we call it formulation library, but how to integrate with IT, how to proactively develop formulations, and how R&D should focus on new product development. I think various gate systems, etc. It helps us a lot in maintaining technology leadership position. And third important facet which helps is the operational excellence. At one time, even when we won the Deming about 10 years back, we were very good in strategy, but operations were not a real forte of ours. But in this period of time, of course, we established a world-class new plant with our collaborators still. But even all the old plants have come to global quality levels, like proper root cause analysis and benchmarking, sharing of best practices, all the people coming together, etc. And last, of course, as I mentioned earlier, on the HR excellence, the kind of initiatives that we took through TQM, ensuring that UCCs are promoted, the suggestion scheme is done. I think it has been of tremendous help. So the four things, if I have to summarize, is the marketing strength, technology leadership, operational excellence, and HR excellence. I think these four things have helped us to sustain and improve upon our domestic market leadership. And another big thing that helped in this policy deployment, cash falling, we call it QITs, quality improvement teams, working cross-functional teams, is breaking the silos. Another important learning, I think, which I perhaps missed in somewhere in the middle or beginning, an important learning has been, how TQM per se, I mean, Japanese in general, how a big problem they break into small problem. In fact, that is the philosophy. They said make a big problem cut into small problem, divide into small problems, thereby is amenable to solution. Many times we take a big problem and then we get lost how to solve it. So that's something which I've seen with our collaborator in TQM also, that making the smaller issues, then the problems are much easier to solve, and it's amazing the results that come. And lastly, to sum it up, I think TQM ensures the top-down and the bottom-up approach is integrated properly, thereby giving results at the business level as well as the shop level. That is what I was thinking. Now, having won the Deming Grand Prize, I think the biggest challenge is for us to sustain this. So we can get lost in the euphoria, and TQM is based on discipline, basic foundation. So discipline can get diluted over a period of time. So we have formed some few systems immediately, because few months since we are into the sustenance period. We took the examination of the examiners observations, we gave it to various functions. We call it a four-quadrant approach. So we formed some action plans and review mechanisms with a review calendar. And second, we also started a monthly RBL Apex review calendar. Our senior management team visits each plant every month, and we are not calling audit, we are saying it's a review. So the more the audits, the more people get upset. So we are saying it's only to support you, see how to make sure that further improves, it doesn't deteriorate. So we start monthly, religiously we go to each plant and try to help them on various facets of TQM. A lot of new people are also coming. So that's our biggest challenge. And finally, we are, while TQM we did focus on business results, we feel there is much more scope to get into the business excellence in a much higher platform or a bigger way. So TQM to business excellence, or business excellence with TQM, is what is our next goal when we plan ourselves. A simple example to conclude, one of the most important parameters for any business is ROCE, the return on capital employed. While the facets of return on capital employed is a part of TQM in bits and pieces, but we are now trying to integrate that ROCE as a single big parameter. How do we ensure we achieve the ROCE target through TQM by proper policy deployment, the role related management points, etc. So we made a framework and we just started doing this. So that is in brief journey of TQM, what I went through the last few years. Thank you.
Thank you.